The general expression for a trinomial is ax squared plus bx plus c. Substitute each set of values into the expression and factorize. Notice that we have ax squared plus bx plus c. Here, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to -3. And so we substitute, so a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to -3. And so we have 2x squared plus 5x plus, open bracket, -3. And so we have 2x squared plus 5x plus, open bracket, -3. But we know that a positive times a negative is a negative, and so we have 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. And our goal is to factorize this expression. And so we ask ourselves, okay, what two numbers we could use that when we add them, we get 5. And the reason why we use 5 is because 5 is right here. 5 is the coefficient of x. So we have defined two numbers. When we add them, we get 5. And when we multiply them, we get -6. And the reason why we use -6 is because we said, okay, 2 multiplied by -3, that's 2 multiplied by -3. And so we take this 2, we multiply it by -3, and we get -6. All right, so we say find two numbers that when we add them, we get 5 because of this 5. And when you multiply them, you get -6 because this 2 multiplied by -3 is -6. And two numbers that we can use are 6 and -1, because 6 plus -1 is 5, and 6 times -1 is -6. And so we take 5x and we express 5x as 6x minus 1x. And so we have 2x squared plus 6x minus 1x minus 3. And so what we do is we say, okay, well, what is 1x? Well, 1x is simply, we say, what is -1x? Well, -1x is simply -x. We don't have to write the 1 out front. And so we have left over 2x squared plus 6x minus x minus 3. Next, we factorize. And so we say, okay, well, what if we look at these two terms, right? If we look at these two terms, what can we find any common factors? Well, 2 is a common factor of 2 and 6 because 2 goes into 2 and 6. And x is a common factor because x is a factor of this term and x is a factor of this term. So we factor out 2x. And when we factor out 2x, we're left with x plus 3. And we know that because 2x times x is 2x squared, and 2x times 3 is 6x. And so we have 2x, open bracket, x plus 3. And this right here is the factored form of this expression above. Now for this particular term, for this particular expression, I should say, we factor out a -1. And we are able to factor out a -1 because -1 times x is a -x, and -1 times +3 is equal to -3. And so we factor out a -1 here. And notice that we have x plus 3 in this term and x plus 3 in this term. So that means that x plus 3 is a common factor of these two terms. So we're going to factor out x plus 3. And when we factor out x plus 3, we are left with 2x minus 1. And so that's what we have here, 2x minus 1. And so our answer here is x plus 3 multiplied by 2x minus 1. And that's the answer to this particular question.